We got new chairs, new format.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Are you comfy?
I am comfy. This
Okay,
is
good.
way more comfortable than those orange chairs.
I saw the orange chairs. So
Wow.
yes. So yeah.
Those were a Prime Day deal for like $30 each, and I was like, I'm gonna be smart and crafty. That was
There you
not
go.
the case.
That was the last time you were allowed to shop by yourself.
That's true.
So you missed this last Prime Day?
I didn't not.
Okay.
But for the most part, I absolutely did.
But he's not allowed to do furniture shopping by himself.
That's true.
Fair
Yes.
enough.
That's true.
Fair enough.
I can't keep this all to myself. I got all you need and I'm sharing the wealth. Talking it up, who should I tell? Like, blah, 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 blah. I can't keep this all to myself.
Welcome to The Pitch Session, a weekly podcast where we like to sit down with a brand and examine their needs with marketing and discuss video and photo concepts, and then wrap it up with how they can use these to better their marketing ability. Welcome to the show. My name is Jason.
I'm Hilda.
I'm Michael.
And we are EO7 Media. Now, if you've noticed, this is the first episode of the new series. We are going down a path of more awesomeness, and we are bringing in a special guest. Michael, introduce yourself to the world.
My name is Michael. I am a digital marketing professional. I have been in digital marketing now for about 20 years and love it. I am a consultant digital marketing in terms of SEO, SEM, email marketing, and social media marketing.
Okay.
Great. Thanks for being here.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for being here.
appreciate
You're happy to be here.
Today, we're going to be talking about Knipp Makeup Artistry. And Jen Knipp is someone who worked with us recently on a project, and she handled the hair, makeup, and slightly parts of the wardrobe as
Yes.
well. Here is Jen Knipp's information right here. We're not going to go into too much branding. Please feel free to pause this so you can read over this, but we will be bringing this up throughout the episode. And that brings us to the episode. How does the episode work? I'm glad you asked. Hilda, how does the episode work?
Well, the episode works in such a way that Jason sets it up and we sit down and we do the blah, blah. So here we are. No, what we do is we take 10 minutes to talk about photo needs for the company we're discussing, 10 minutes for video, and today we're going to take 10 minutes for SEO. And we give our feedback on what we think that would work best for them.
Right. Jen Knipp is in the process right now of rebranding her business. As she started with the wedding and a B2C business, she is now moving to a B2B business, and she wants to work in commercial production and production photography. So she wants to work on commercials, films, things of this nature. So that's the kind of stuff we're going to be talking about today when we talk about examples of video content that she can use or photo content that she can use in order to get the attention of these production companies that she can work with. You guys ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Going on what you just said. So I think she needs to show that she's working behind the scenes. She's working with production companies. So she needs to show more behind the scenes of her working for said production
right.
companies. I think maybe in the beginning she can reach out and say, hey, I'll offer my services for free for a day just so I can have the content, just so I can have the referrals, so I can have the Google reviews, because you have to show pictures. You have to show video. You can't just sell yourself on words. So I guess that's what I would do. I would just try to produce as much photo material as possible so she has stuff for Instagram and her website and
Pinterest.
And Pinterest, yes. I'm excited to talk about Pinterest because you brought that up in the little conversation we had earlier. So, and she could absolutely use that on all the platforms.
So do you think she needs, at this stage right now, getting behind the scenes photos, which I actually agree with. I think that is probably the most beneficial thing that she can have right now, as well as content that shows what she's doing. But the behind the scenes, I think, is pivotal.
Yeah.
Do you think it's important to have high quality photography of behind the scenes, or do you think it's used okay to just have the cell phone pics and things like that?
I think both are okay. I think as long as you have something to show, it's not going to be detrimental unless it's like blurry and really, really shitty. But most modern cell phones are high quality enough to show decent work. Since I've worked with her for our production that we had, I did do a lot of behind the scene photos for her. So she will have high quality photos from me. But if she didn't, then she could probably reach out to a photographer that is on the production set and say,
Right.
hey, do you mind, and I'll do X, Y for you. So I don't know if people know that in this industry, people do a lot of trade for services.
It's a lot of service trade, right?
Yeah,
right,
so
right.
it's, like I'm not going to mention, but maybe I will. I actually did photos for a personal trainer, and then he did personal training sessions for me, so it's fine. There's no shame in hustling and getting what you want until you have the portfolio, because she definitely has the skills,
Very
but
much
she's
so.
going to have a hard time switching from weddings to productions.
Right.
And nowadays, especially everyone's on YouTube or should be on YouTube. So it doesn't have to be like a big movie production thing. It could be, YouTubers who need, little padding and shine and whatever. And the best part for me when I worked with her, if I can talk about non-photo stuff,
Please, yeah.
we had a very handsome African-American model for our production that we did. And
The actor.
the
right?
actor,
Yeah.
yes, model/actor, I apologize. And he said that he never felt so well taken care of, and he didn't have to worry about how is the shade going to
Right.
match my actual skin color,
Yeah.
because she was fully prepared. So she can use those type of photos as well. Like, here's the makeup I did for this model/actor, and then also did everybody on the crew.
So can I add to that real
Please
quick?
do.
Having the actor, like a shot of the actor from like a still of the film, a still of the video, with a quote by him underneath, like a little review saying like, I never felt like I had to worry because like I knew my skin tone was looking right. And I think that would actually
That
go
would
a
be a
long
huge
way.
selling point, and which she can definitely have, because I have plenty of photos of said actor, and I have plenty of photos of her behind the scenes. So you're welcome, Jen. I saved you so much money.
And I just wrote that down actually for SEO, for an SEO technique as well. So we're definitely in line on that.
Oh, great. Okay.
Perfect. Oh my God. Okay. I am so pumped about this. I love when a company rebrands and like they know where their focus is.
She's very, very specific about her
Yes.
focus, which is great, which is so fantastic.
which is going to make getting those jobs that much easier. Because when you niche down like this, so her audience are the producers or the production companies or the people who are going to be actually pulling the trigger and paying them. Now, are they the ones actually hunting for Jen? Or is it like actors and other makeup artists or other crew?
I don't know. You've been in the movie industry, so what do you think?
To be honest, it's an amalgamation of everybody because it's all about who you know, right? Like that's the old saying, the more you work, the more you work.
Yeah.
And if she is getting her name out there through other means, like not just the high end people, but also everybody, I mean, that's kind of a weird thing to say because you never want to market to everybody.
Right.
But I think actors is key because an actor can suggest, I have a makeup artist who knows their shit,
Yep.
who can come in and
Yep.
really help.
Yep.
That might help as well. And then
Right.
they can be a package deal.
That's kind of what I was suggesting with the whole model actor thing.
Right,
Like
right.
you find somebody that you think is going places, and he's in the same boat as Jen is like, okay, we need more stuff to show.
Yeah.
So reach out to this really handsome guy who is probably going to book a lot of gigs in Chicago,
now
New
he
York.
comes with a
and
makeup
now he
artist.
comes with a makeup artist. So I mean, that's a win-win as far as I'm concerned.
I think that's a good pairing.
And one of the things I thought about when you're
Yeah.
saying that in terms of who is going to be searching in terms of producers or production companies or actors and actors, one of the things about digital marketing is that you don't know who's going to be searching for you and when. So you have to try to be at the right place at the right time with the right message. So her target may be the producers and the production companies and the actors, but as long as her messaging is out there,
Okay.
and her site is up to par with that, she can reach out that full audience.
Okay.
I'm super interested. So what other type of photos do you think would catch the attention of that audience? Like I say right now, let's aim for like the production heads. Let's aim for her target market because that's what she's looking for, that 40 to 50 target market, and maybe the actors as well. But more than likely her target.
I love the fact in terms of utilizing, I don't remember how you put it, but utilizing the photos from the people that she's working with. Pair that, however, one of the things that's going to pair well with that is not just the photos, but also just those testimonials in terms of one of the things you mentioned. I mean,
Right.
that's a fact. Like I said, you almost stole my thunder on that one. So,
I try.
It's what he
but yeah,
does.
so you want those visuals, which will be fantastic, but you also want to pair that with the testimonials and that wording, which will help also from a digital marketing and SEO perspective as well.
So
I am definitely taking notes from my
yeah, I was going to say, I was like, I have so many more ideas for our
Yeah.
things now.
Thank you, Michael.
So on that note, what I'm going to suggest is maybe don't put the words on the photo, or if you do, also include that review or that testimonial in your text as well.
Yeah,
wherever
exactly.
you post.
Yeah, don't put the words on the photo. So the photo has to stand for itself.
Okay.
But basically, you also want so similar to our site, her site is set up right now, because I did take a close look at it. She has photos in terms of like production designers or production companies, producers, etc. And then she has things underneath it. Just expand on that. Have more photos and have those testimonials. The testimonials can be underneath the photos, or it can be a completely separate section in terms of just here's testimony, here's what people are saying about the business and things of that sort. So the photos can speak by themselves, the testimonials can speak by themselves, or it can be a combination.
Gotcha. Because I mean, from us just working with her, she can have 2, 3, 4 reviews right there.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
And then don't hesitate. Again, we're not in the SEO part, but don't hesitate to ask for reviews from everyone you work with.
Yeah.
So real quick, we have about a minute and a half left. Where should she be posting outside of the website? Of course, like what social media platforms should she be worried about?
Instagram. Michael mentioned Pinterest. I used to post on Pinterest, but I don't anymore. But I think that's a great idea. So I'll let you talk about that. Definitely YouTube, because that's where we're going. So and now YouTube allows photo posting, which I'm super excited about, but I don't know enough about it. So do you want to talk about?
Really quick, yeah. So the photo content on YouTube is limited to 5 photos per post. Like a carousel, I believe, on Instagram, you can go up to 10, but it's limited to 5, and they're square.
Okay.
So regardless of how it's shot, it'll crop down to a square.
Okay.
And the idea of this is to create a more community base on YouTube, and YouTube is really trying to push to be that social media.
So not just video.
Not just video, more of a communal aspect, which I will get into in my part. But I think you're dead on. I think Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube should be her photo
And
posting.
like I said, it doesn't have to be pretty, shiny, perfect. It just needs to be a lot of, this is me working. You just have to keep showing it over and over. And with you can get so many different photos just from one photo session. So let's say if she hired me, because we already work together, but if she hired me sometime in the future, I could easily produce like 300 to 500 photos in like 3 to 4 hours.
Perfect.
And then she has content for a year. So.
And that's a good point to have.
And over to video.
And 10 minutes. Nice job. Nicely done. Yeah. Let's dive into video.
Let's do it.
So this is my favorite part.
We're going to steal your thunder now.
Do it. Steal it. Okay. So I have 3 types of videos she has to have.
Okay.
And this is coming from her target demographic.
Okay.
Granted, her target demographic is well off.
So you're almost.
I am almost there. Like that's where I don't get that. So her target demographic is 40 to 50, business owner, producer, person in charge who makes the decisions, right?
Right.
As a producer, as someone who literally looked for a makeup artist for a production that we were shooting, I needed to know, A, is she good at her job? B, is she good to work with? And like, is she going to actually work that day? Because you can be good at your job and still be hard to handle, like hard to work with. And like, are you actually going to stick it out?
Yeah. Little side note, personality matters for so much. Getting
huge.
along with people you just met is like, that is key.
This is where I want to go into right now. Thank you.
You're
for that.
welcome.
Awesome. So, one of the videos is you need to link to the productions you've done. And you can do that easily on a website, but you can also do snippets. Like you can edit down a commercial that you helped with and don't post the whole commercial unless they actually allow you to on your own YouTube.
Oh, that's a good point. So maybe mention the whole copyright issue too.
Anything you work with, you have to get the copyright allowance to post to your YouTube. Otherwise, you can get flagged. And if you get flagged, copyright striked 3 times, they automatically will shut down your YouTube and wipe everything without letting you know. So if you're going to cut it down, make sure you get the authorization, and then you can show samples. But you need to show samples. It's just like showing like high quality makeup artistry. You need to be able to show this is what the final product is. Okay. That's the nice and easy one. Okay. The other thing is you need behind the scenes videos. Like, I want to see what you do. I want to see what you bring to the day. And my favorite aspect of Jen when I worked with her was She showed up, I shook her hand, and we had only talked via email. And she goes, I brought concepts because the story was supposed to take place over 6 days. The script was supposed to take over place 6 days. She goes, I brought concepts for hair designs for each of the 6 days. And as someone who's been running ragged for the past 2 months going, crap, never even thought about that.
And both
both
me and Jason just stood there with our mouths hanging open. Like, not only did she bring the concepts, she actually said, this is, I was thinking
and she
X,
brought
Y,
art and then the reasons behind it. She goes, like, we're going to do this hairstyle for this scene because it will match this vibe. And I was like, okay, so not only are you good at what you do, you arrived early, you're good to work with, you came on very high recommendations, you thought about this, and that escalates you that much more. But besides a review, besides a testimonial, you can't see that.
Yeah.
You can't see that through your stuff. So being able to say that on camera and being like, hey, I'm shooting for blah 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 today, and what I did was here are my designs. I did this beforehand, and even show us like at your home. Like behind the scenes doesn't mean you have to be on the set.
Oh, okay.
Behind the scenes can be at home sketching up stuff. Like, hey, I'm shooting something tomorrow. Here's my designs. I'm so excited to be working on this.
And she could literally record this on her cell phone?
Even record on your cell phone. I don't think behind the scenes needs to be high quality.
So in terms of behind the scenes, looking at it from, again, a marketing perspective, are you saying, just to clarify, the behind the scenes stuff that she does, should it be posted on YouTube or her site or both?
So I think if you're going to do it on your site, I would say do it as like blogs.
Okay.
Because then you have content like rolling back, and the more blogs you have, the more it looks like you're working, right?
Okay.
But I would say YouTube. If photos are going to live on Instagram and Pinterest, I cannot express my admiration and my bloodlust for marketing better than YouTube. YouTube, I believe, is the way of the future. It is the marketing library where everything else is kind of like, it is happening now. YouTube, you can still viably search for it 10 years from now. It is going to be an epic source of library needs for everything you have. And regardless of what you're working on, I want to see it. Because I want to see who you are and how you do things, especially if your target market is not the end consumer, but rather the person who wants to hire you based on your skill set. So I want to see those things. I want to see you working on it at home. I want to see the preparation. I want to see what you work with.
How would you, since you officially made the decision to hire her, how would you feel about if after like she was done, she went home, she reached out to you and say, hey, Jason, would you mind giving me like a quick little 1-minute review on your cell phone and sending it to me? And then you could literally talk about that this is how Jen was on the production day and then just send it to her. Would you feel okay about that?
So I hate that you're literally doing my next video
I'm
selection.
sorry.
Yeah,
I don't hate it. I'm sorry.
You both are like
Yeah,
in my world now too. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
okay, that's cool.
I'm like, I might as well just go home.
But that's great that we're all on the same wavelength.
And that's
Yeah.
it. But that's also proven the point that this is what we think will actually work.
Yeah, exactly.
So my next idea is you need something a little polished. You need like a 1 to 2 minute polished, here's who I am video. This is something that we like to call a video business card. The idea that here's who I am, here's what I do, here's why I do it better than everybody else, and here's why you should hire me. That is the door, the foot in the door to get to know you. It's basically a video headshot, right? Like I want to know who you are before I even contact you. But not only does that have to be a little bit more polished, you need testimonials. And I think above the talking about me kind of video, having someone talk about you is epically more important, especially as a service-based business. So having or asking someone you just worked with to go home and do a quick little video, if I'm watching, and I am the video person, right? I scrutinize other people's videos to hell and back. But if I see someone doing a testimonial on a cell phone, just like a selfie, and then that's what I get to see in someone else's video, like, hey, this is the testimonial. I don't care. I care about what's being said because then I know it's a little more authentic. I know it's a little more real. I know it's a little more true. And anyone you worked well with, anyone will take a minute out of their day to do
Yes.
this. It is a
And a
no-brainer.
minute doesn't sound like a long
No.
time, but a minute is just enough.
A minute is a long. It's a long. Like it's enough to get the point across. Like I could talk about Jen for probably like 20 minutes for everything she did that one production
Yes.
day. But I will say you might have to edit that down. You know, releasing the whole video. You know, you don't want someone else looking like uhs and ums.
Yeah.
But so that's what you need, not only on your site, on your YouTube, but also in your main video. Because you can talk about how awesome you are all day. That's not going to cut it.
No.
What's going to cut it is someone saying, I worked with Jen. She did XYZ. And then don't be afraid to give them prompts for the testimonials.
Such as?
So for Jen, she wowed us with the ability to think not about what she thought would be good for the production, but rather what we thought would help the overall feeling of the concept.
She read the script, paid
Yeah.
attention to the
Right.
outfits, and made her hair decisions and makeup decisions based on that. Yet she still checked with us to make sure that it was okay.
Yes. She didn't just go ahead and do anything.
Yeah.
So if I hear that someone else say that, I would have hired her without thinking about it. Like we hired her based on word of mouth. And word of mouth is what she's been really focusing on for her marketing. The problem with word of mouth is you don't get word of mouth without marketing. Otherwise, it stays in select groups, right?
Right.
And especially with her background of wedding work and things like that, she needs to focus on showing what she wants
Yep.
to work on.
Yep.
And you should connect with some people, jump on those sets, just like you were saying, like offer your services for a trade. Like, hey, can I do a quick testimonial with you? Can I get behind the scenes shots? And then I'll come in and I'll help you with makeup. So she needs to build up that marketing. And I would want maybe 5 to 8 examples of different productions she's worked on. And to me, I don't care if it's a big production. I don't care if it's Nike or Apple or things like that. I care about the purpose of the video. Did it match what the point of the video was trying to do? So it could be in anything. But
sense.
I need to see more of that. So I'm sorry I've monopolized all this time.
That's okay.
You're good.
We have 30 seconds left. Is there anything that you guys would like to?
What would be another high-end video aside from the business card and the testimonials? Like, could it be like a fun type of like, this is, I don't know, is there something else that's like?
All right, I'm going to pitch an idea
Okay,
in
do it.
20 seconds. I want a super high-end, polished, not expensive, but high-end conceptual video where she like moving walls, very like Michelle Gondry, where like she's doing makeup on one, but she's not paying attention to them. She's looking at the camera like, I do this all day. And then they get whisked away and someone else comes in. And it's like a horror movie. And she's like, I can work with all different kinds of things, blah, blah. And then it's like people will walk in and out carrying props and they're like Jen's amazing. She made us look beautiful. Jen's amazing. She made me look brutal. You can have so
that's
much
so
fun with this.
fun.
And if it's all done like really artistry wise, it's going to hit the artist crowd that much more. It's going to really connect with
Ooh,
that.
that's a really good
So
one.
that was 40 seconds, but sorry.
Good job. I'm impressed. I just threw that at you. Look at you
I love it.
go.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Michael.
Yes.
Your turn.
Hello.
Sorry
Let's
we
dive
stepped on your
in.
toes.
All right, let's do it. Oh my goodness! Based on this conversation, I have so much to go over right now. So, all right, so I don't even know where to start. So, basically, I'm going to talk about SEO.
Yes.
So there are two aspects to SEO. One, actually, having a presence on Google, in order to have people when they do a search to actually see your site. And then click on it and get to your site. The other aspect of SEO is keeping people on your site. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you get people to the site. If they don't stay there, so what? So that's one of the things. I'm going to start and go backwards, right? The first thing I want to talk about is once they get to the site. So thinking about the testimonials in terms of photos, thinking about testimonials in terms of videos. People like, from a psychological perspective, and I should have mentioned that I used to be a therapist.
So that's another dimension that you can address. That's
Exactly.
great.
In terms of marketing psychology, people like hearing from other people that are like themselves. So it doesn't matter. She can talk about herself all day long, which is great, which she should. However, if people also don't hear from other people that are clients and customers that are similar or like-minded,
Right.
that's going to carry so much weight from a keeping people on the site doing business with her perspective.
That's a great point.
So yes.
Love that.
So that is where the testimonials are kind of going to come in,
Okay.
and that's why they're so important, especially, and people react and resonate with different types of images. So photos are very important. Testimonials with the photos are very important. Videos are very important. Testimonials with the video or video testimonials are also very, very important because, again, you don't know what's going to resonate best with your audience. So you want to make sure you're trying different things. YouTube is great because one of the things I did when I did an analysis of her site, she only has a few backlinks. The backlinks are anything outside of your site that links to your site. That's important because it tells Google that you are an authority in your field. So yeah.
Real quick on that, would a YouTube link consider that?
I was just about you're stealing my thunder.
Awesome. It's all about stealing today. That's today's theme.
I was just about to say that's my point of YouTube. So if she has a YouTube channel and she has YouTube videos on that channel, be it like behind the scenes or video testimonials or what have you, and then someone could click on that YouTube video and it links to her site, that is considered a backlink.
Got it.
And that will help in terms of SEO efforts.
So the clicking on the video or clicking on a link in the description of
Either.
the video? Oh, okay. It does count.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it does matter. As long as it links back to the site,
Okay.
that is considered a backlink.
Just a quick question.
Sure.
Is there an ideal amount of links that somebody should have on their
yeah.
website?
On their website or linking to their website?
Linking to their website, I apologize.
As long as it's not necessarily, I mean, it depends on the business.
Is
Depends
there
on
too much or not enough?
It would be too much if they're links from non-authoritative sites, meaning that sites that have no weight on Google whatsoever.
Got it.
You don't want to just have sites linking to your sites just to link to your site. You want to make sure they have some sort of authority and some sort of oomph, as it were, for lack of a better term.
Can you give us an example? Because I think this is a good point that a lot of people are not doing.
So yeah, so an example would be if me, for example, as a guest, if I have a link on my site back to your site, that would be great. I mean, I am building my domain authority as well, so linking to your site will help boost your domain authority.
Because we're of the same type of field?
Exactly.
So if I was like a
yeah.
children's store, like selling like toys, it wouldn't really work as much unless you were working with us.
Unless that toy department was like a what's a toy store?
I have no idea. I tried to go as far as I could away from it.
So like I know Toys R Us was big in the day, but say for example, Toys R Us is still like super huge.
Yeah.
If they link back to your site, since they were so massive and a conglomerate, then yes, that would help because of their high authority.
They're a business and their authority of the business.
Got it.
All right,
So,
I
yes,
understand.
exactly. So yeah, so that's definitely one thing in terms of photos, videos, and testimonials. YouTube is huge because YouTube, we were talking before, YouTube is a social media outlet and also a search engine. It's actually the number 2 search engine here in the U.S. Next to Google, and YouTube is owned by Google. So go figure.
This is his favorite thing to talk
love
about.
it.
So
yes.
you are
Exactly.
amazing.
So YouTube is great to advertise on as well. So that is a great entity to focus on in terms of being advertising and having videos out there. One of the things I said before, backlinks are definitely important from an SEO perspective. The things that we talked about in terms of the photos and testimonials and videos and things like that, that will help with backlinks. Because like I said, her backlinks are low, so that needs to be improved in order for Google to see her as more of an authority figure.
Now, speaking of the authority figure, I don't want to stay too much on this.
No,
but,
that's
fine. Since she is rebranding for the more production side, are there certain types of videos or certain types of websites that she should focus on getting the backlinks from?
Sites in her field, if possible.
In makeup or like video production?
Yes.
both.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Because you're looking at the authority factor on Google, not just who it is, but overarching.
Exactly, and that will increase her that will increase her domain authority as well. So the other thing that I looked at when I was doing an analysis of her site, her domain authority is fairly low.
Okay.
It's at a 2 out of 100. So it's not, I mean, she's just starting in terms of the site. So
Right.
that's understandable. It's going to continue to grow, and how it's going to grow is basically boosting backlinks to her site, taking a look at the other part of the analysis I did was like mobile, making sure her site is mobile friendly,
Which
that
is
it's
huge.
responsive, meaning that if someone goes to her site from any mobile device, that it will be responsive to the screen size, the type of phone, be it an Android, iPhone, or what have you, making sure it looks crisp and clean on all mobile devices. So you need to have a responsive mobile device, is responsive mobile on each device for your site.
Okay, that's really, I think, hugely important because if it looks good on a computer and it doesn't look good on the phone, you're cutting out a giant proportion of people who are looking for you.
Yeah, we're a mobile first world. at
Yes,
this
we
point.
are.
So we have our phones with us constantly. So it's so important that people can search for her on the go. So yeah.
I think the last number I heard was 4 out of 5 people or 9 out of 10. It was a huge number are looking for information on their phone before they ever hit the computer.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it's very important. So yeah. The other part that I wanted to bring up is Pinterest. I know we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Pinterest is definitely growing in terms of just it being a search engine as well. So photos are huge on Pinterest. So people are able to now search on Pinterest and see sponsored ads similar to the ads that people see on Google. So Pinterest is definitely, from a video aspect, Pinterest is going to be huge, almost as great as YouTube from a marketing standpoint.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Tell us why.
That's a huge statement.
Yes. Because Pinterest is growing so much and offering so much in terms of from a marketing standpoint, that it's almost becoming it's taking cues from Google, and we know how huge Google is. So Pinterest is taking cues from Google in terms of becoming a massive search engine and really kind of being out there for both marketers and businesses.
So give us an example of how she could approach Pinterest as a brand new business person.
In 2 ways. It's basically making sure, again, photos. Pinterest is all about photos and visual aspects. So photos are going to be huge and important. So one of the things we talked about before in terms of having photos and testimonials is that, as you know, I mean, a picture, what's the saying?
Worth 1,000
words.
words.
1,000. Yes. And it's so much so on Pinterest. And having those professional looking photos, you can't just put anything on Pinterest.
That's a good
You have
point.
to have the professional looking photos.
I
on
don't
Pinterest.
go to Pinterest to look for amateur stuff. I go to
Exactly.
Pinterest to look for class, high quality, polished.
Exactly.
It's been, I mean, I go on Pinterest rarely.
Yeah.
Like when it first started, I was all excited about it. Now I'm like, meh, but now I'm going to revisit it again. But so from what I remember, you create boards. So would she want to only include her own photos, or can she create mood boards or include other people's work? Like, how would that?
Yes.
Okay, yes to all that. Gotcha. So then she could have. So she can have something.
You seeing a pattern?
Yeah. I love
So
it.
she could have something labeled my work, and then the other one could be work that inspires me, or type of work I like to do. So she could make different
Mood board for
Okay.
this production, mood board for this
Okay,
production.
gotcha.
Exactly. 100%. So yes.
So the more she can do, the better.
So-
Exactly.
And the
Yep.
more active she is on Pinterest, the better for her business.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Sorry,
So,
didn't
yeah.
mean to cut you off.
Nope, you're good.
What else
So-
you got written down?
Well,
there?
that was 10 minutes.
Okay, sorry, Michael.
That went way too fast because I was sitting here like, oh,
I
that's
know.
amazing. I want to know more.
I think we need to do an SEO whole episode.
I think that would be absolutely
Yeah.
amazing.
I would love that.
So if you are interested in learning more about SEO or Jen's business, we are going to be coming out with some new episodes of Coffee and Cameras, our other show. We're going to talk to Jen all about her rebranding process and what it takes to rebrand a business. And we're going to sit down with Michael and talk all about SEO and the difference between SEO and SEM.
Fantastic.
Which we did not bring up in this episode.
Yeah.
That's a whole other topic that I am dying to learn about. So, Michael, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
If someone wanted to reach out to you, to talk to you, pick your brain, or to work with you, what's the best way they can reach you?
They can reach me at michael@eo7media.com.
That's nice and easy.
Yeah, simple.
Perfect. Hilda, again, thank you so much.
No problem. I love you, Jen. Sorry, had to get that in there.
And thank you for paying attention and sitting down with us. This has been a lot of help, and we really hope you got a lot of value out of this, regardless if you're a makeup company or not. If you like what you see here, make sure you stick around for all the amazing content that we're making, because we have a lot of great shows out there with a lot of great business, branding, and marketing value. This is usually when you would say, click that link button and like it. But
We don't do that anymore because that's just rude and annoying.
That's
so
right.
Instead, we're going to put up graphics.
And if you like what you saw today with what we did in 30 minutes, imagine what we could do for your brand if we had a little more time. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you on the next one. And remember, be better, do something awesome today.
I got all